Welcome to our channel, guys. We are called SNS Crew because all of us are S's: Savannah, Celso, and Sebastian. And we probably found out when I was like a month into being pregnant, because I got pregnant in September, and around like the middle of October, end of October, we found out I was pregnant. We took a test. Well, we just went to Walgreens and we bought a test, and then we came home and we took it while everyone was out of his house. Like, we were home alone, and it obviously came out positive. So we kind of got excited and happy to have like a little one and like be together as a family. And then some like problems happened. Like, we didn't get along, so we both agreed that it was better for us to split up. And although like both of us still remained in contact due to the baby, we still didn't want to be in a relationship. And then so after that happened, I decided that I needed to go to the doctor, to the clinic, to see how far along I was, or if it was even a like accurate test or any of that. So then I went to the clinic, and I was by myself, and I was really debating like if I really wanted to have a baby that young, even though I was thinking about going away to college, and I had a lot of plans for my future. So I didn't know if like a baby would be like good at that moment. And so as I went in to take the test, I took it. The doctor told me. I waited in the room probably about 10 to 15 minutes, and they came back and they were like, your test came back negative, like you're not pregnant, so you don't have to worry about anything. Our tests are pretty accurate. It's like, oh, okay, well that's weird because the pregnancy I had bought came out positive, and they told me, well, that's rare, but it is not impossible. So I really honestly didn't think I was pregnant because of that. So I told Celso, like, don't worry about anything, we'll just stay split up. We don't really have to keep in contact because obviously I'm not pregnant. Well, so I went about thinking I wasn't pregnant, just living my life, and I was probably about 7 months. Well, no, like, back it up a little bit. Like, I was craving things, like having to go to the bathroom a lot. Like, I threw up a lot, got really sick to certain foods. And I really thought it was like really strange because my test that came back negative from the doctors, so I didn't like really expect anything. So when I was about 7 months, I started showing, probably around softball season. And so I decided that I was still gonna play softball because that was really the only way to keep me occupied from arguing with Celso and all the like drama that was going on. Like, I really just needed to take my anger out on something, so I decided I was gonna still play softball. And after softball, I decided to go to the doctors again, and this time it was for an ultrasound because I was already 8 months. And when I went to the doctor, they told me that my due date was June 10th, which was only a couple weeks away, probably like at most a month. And so I was like really surprised and shocked, but at the same time I wasn't. So then that's when they told me I was having a boy, and I really wanted a girl at first, so I was kind of a shocker. And so after that, I decided to tell Celso that we were still having a baby and that I was pregnant the whole time. And the whole time during the pregnancy, Celso would check up on me during it to see how I was feeling or if anything weird had happened, and I would tell him all my cravings and stuff like that. So he wasn't really surprised when I told him that we were still having a baby and that the doctor's like test came out like wrong. So after that, we had graduation, and by graduation I had already known I was pregnant. I didn't really want to tell anybody because I was really scared about the things they would say about me, especially after I had just got done playing softball with a baby in my stomach. And so I was very nervous. I was scared to like become a mom. Everything was like happening so quick. I had just graduated high school. Well, fast forward, June 10th came, my due date, and I was really scared for labor, but that's like another video. So then June 20th came and I had a baby. Rewind a little bit to where I told my parents before Sebastian, because obviously I had to let my parents know. So when I had my first ultrasound, found out it was a boy, I told my parents, and obviously they were upset at me because I had a lot of future plans. I had college, I had school, I wanted to become a psychologist, I had a lot of things in plan, and being a mother was obviously not one of them. So when I told them, yeah, they were upset, but they were very supportive, surprisingly, because at first I was, you know, thinking about adoption, especially because Celso and I weren't in a relationship at the time and we weren't ready to be parents together, and I didn't want to be a single mother and have to share custody of my child, especially because my parents were split up and I was always in the middle of like custody battles in court, and I didn't want the same for my son. So I really wasn't sure if I wanted to keep him. But when my parents sat down and talked to me, I decided that it was better if I raised him, and Celso and I raised him, whether we were together or not, because at least he would have his parents and he would learn from us either way. So that's how it went, going to tell my parents. It was honestly a lot easier than I thought it would be, but it was also very late into my pregnancy, so we didn't have a lot of time to prepare for a baby. So this morning when I was editing the video, I realized that I forgot to tell you guys the most important part of the story, and that's how I felt emotionally being pregnant. So ignore my wet hair and my no makeup, because like I'm doing this now. So I felt so depressed and so alone. I felt like I really didn't have anybody, even though Celso did like check up on me. I really didn't feel like I had anybody. So I felt really depressed and like I was alone, and a lot of suicidal thoughts. And so honestly, overall, my pregnancy was not a happy experience. I cried a lot, and I just wasn't in it. I didn't want to be pregnant. I was very depressed, like I said. So I just wanted to add that in there and let you guys know that my pregnancy was not what I wanted. I didn't have a baby shower. I didn't take belly pictures. I didn't really go all out for my pregnancy because I honestly just didn't want to be pregnant. I wasn't happy. Celso and I weren't together, so it wasn't an ideal pregnancy that I wanted, and I think that made me even more depressed because I didn't have anyone to explain that to. So I just felt alone. And yeah, so now I'm gonna let Celso tell you.
First found out she was pregnant, you know, it was October. My parents were in Mexico. We found out in my bathroom. She took the test, and then she gave me the good news. You know, I was happy in the moment. And then, like 2 months later, we had some problems. We ended up splitting up. But I was still gonna be there for my kid no matter what. But later on, she told me that she wasn't pregnant no more. So I was like, oh shit, that's crazy. So I used to thought she had a miscarriage. And then, well, yeah, I kept checking up on her, make sure she was still doing cool. You know, I still cared about her. And she hits me with that, oh, I guess the doctors made a mistake. You know, like, nah, well, that's crazy. Like, I didn't know what to believe no more. I was confused. Like, it wasn't your average relationship. Like we weren't together at all. So I didn't know what to believe. And I had to deal with the hard part and telling my parents, which was really surprising. You know, like I was expecting to get like talk shit too and shit. But now it was like they were expecting it. My mom was happy. I thought she was gonna be the maddest. My dad was just like, oh, alright, cool, another grandkid, nothing major. Well, they do have 10 kids, so it's like, you know, what's one more grandkid? And then my oldest sister, she's like my second mom, so I had to tell her. She was the first one I ever told, and she was so supportive. Because I got stuck between going to college or just working full time. So she said, "Oh no, finish college. I'll help you till you graduate." So luckily, I'm gonna graduate. And once I found out she was so pregnant, it was scary. You know, it set in like, "Oh shit, I'm really about to be a dad." So like she was saying that she don't want to bring Sebastian, well, his name's Sebastian, into this world in our situation. She said if she brings him in, it's better off with a dog. I was gonna support her decision no matter what, because myself, I wasn't in the best position to be a dad. I was doing dumb shit. And not doing shit that I wasn't supposed to do. So I was scared that I couldn't be the best dad I possibly could be for my son.
Who's that baby? Is that mama baby? Is that mama baby? Thank you for watching my video today, guys. And like, subscribe, comment what you guys want to see from me and Soso. And stay tuned for the next video, because in the next video I'm gonna tell you guys my labor and how giving birth almost killed me. So it'll be very interesting, and yeah, stay tuned, guys. Thanks for watching.